This is the Jackson House Museum. It's located in Lexington, Virginia. It was built in 1800 by Cornelius Dorman, and in 1858 it was purchased by Major Thomas Jonathan Jackson, and he and his wife Mary Anna lived there until 1861. And Thomas Jonathan Jackson entered the Confederate service as a general at that time, and he passed away from wounds suffered at the Battle of Chancellorsville in May 1863. It is the only house that Jackson ever owned. This is the Jackson's kitchen, including a stove and fireplace. And a small area in the kitchen table. And vintage bottles from the era. And this is the slaves' quarters, the enslaved Americans who lived and served in Thomas Jonathan Jackson's house. He had 6 slaves. And we're going to go up the stairs to the 2nd floor. And the room to the right is the dining room. So this is the Jackson's dining room, which includes a sofa. Really nice circular dining table. And a fireplace. And this circular extension table should be noted that it was part of Jackson's home. He personally owned this dining room table, and it has levelers on the floor so that the table would always be even. It would just turn the knobs, and the table would rise and fall for each leg to make sure that the table was even. This is an English lusterware teapot, and on the bottom is some family flatware that are engraved with TJJ, Thomas Jonathan Jackson. Now this Bible was given by Thomas Jonathan Jackson to his sister Laura as a gift. This is the Jackson's bedroom, Thomas Jonathan and Anna Jackson's bedroom, and this is their bed. And a nightstand with a mirror next to it. Pot-bellied stove, something like that. Jackson's U.S. Army uniform. And a nice stand-up closet. Okay, now Jackson, in 1857, he sat for this Lexington photographer, Samuel Pettigrew, and he created this ambrotype photograph. And Jackson ended up marrying Anna Morrison that same year. Small personal mirror and shaving blades. And other toiletries owned by Jackson. And this is the linen closet. Pretty sizable, and would have kept a large collection of linens. Sort of a bathing pan. And this is the parlor, located on the second floor of the Jackson house. A comfy chair and sofa with what looks like a three-tiered table that slides one into the other. Fireplace with a stove. And a small marble table. And a family piano. Next to the piano is the chair that Jackson would sit and face the wall for very long periods of time, and I believe this helped to soothe him and help him to concentrate. And this is the spot and the chair that he used. These are artifacts belonging to the Arnold family. Then we enter the passageway. Another marble table. That leads to Stonewall Jackson's study. Including another fireplace. An old map, which looks like it's of the region. And Jackson's bookshelves. Of course, he was a teacher at the Virginia Military Institute and taught physics. Some of these books were of his personal collection. This is the staircase leading to the third floor. And this is Stonewall Jackson's garden. He was an avid gardener. And this is located right behind his house. And at the back of the garden is the carriage house, a replica. This is a vintage carriage, and it's very similar to the one that Thomas Jonathan Jackson bought for his mother-in-law for her visit to Lexington shortly before the Civil War. Now, this sword is believed to have been carried by Stonewall Jackson, then known as Thomas Jonathan Jackson, during the Mexican War. This is an 1855 tintype copy of Lieutenant Jackson at the time of his 1846 West Point graduation. A series of other objects, including a Mexican spur and a rose Canton pattern tea pot and a bearded bag. Okay, this is a star pattern autograph quilt, and it was a wedding gift to Laura Arnold, who was Stonewall Jackson's sister. It was given in 1844. This is the wedding ring of Ellie, Stonewall Jackson's wife, and inscribed on her wedding ring is TJJ and EJ, August 4th, 1853. And some of Ellie's type purses and other ladies' articles. Some of the books used by by Stonewall Jackson. This is Bartlett's Spherical Astronomy, and Stonewall Jackson used this in his natural philosophy class in 1856. And some other books and notebooks. Now, this Bible dates back to 1855 and was handed out at the Lexington Presbyterian Church where Jackson attended. These are some key tags from the Rock Bridge at Lump Springs. Now, Anna Jackson, Stonewall Jackson's wife, recorded recipes given to her in this cookbook. And this promissory note is the only document surviving that marks Anna's life. And some artifacts relating to Stonewall Jackson's death. This writing desk belonged to Margaret Preston, who was an author and Stonewall Jackson's sister-in-law. Stonewall Jackson's aunt, Erexene, presented the Jacksons with this quilt for their new home in 1858. It's called the Rose of Sharon Applique and Trapunto quilt. And some artifacts from Lexington found during archaeological investigations. Julia Lauren Jackson was the daughter of Stonewall Jackson and Anna Jackson, and this was her wine red velvet Bosque bodice trimmed with 11 Virginia Military Institute cadet buttons. This velvet bag belonged to Anna Jackson.
I grew up on Jackson.
Oh, it's lovely in this area. You know, it reminds me so much
Oh, yeah, I
of
guess so.
architecture.
Yeah,
It's the same.
yeah. Yeah.
And then you have, well, not in the French Quarter itself, but, you know, around the Garden District area,
Yeah.
beautiful mansions. So
And this box belonged to Anna Jackson as well during the 1880s.